Go. Five, four, three, two, one. Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Steer the Ship Podcast. You know what I'm saying? Be your boy Johnny up in this bitch, man, with a week 5 review. You know what I'm saying? So welcome back, man. You already know, man. Week 5, we're on that hunt for the perfect parlay. If we can get it, I've been fucking up. My parlays have not been hitting lately, but hey, out of 18 weeks, gotta hit one. Maybe not. So with this week right here, we're gonna have some exciting games coming out. Not really exciting, but there's a lot of trap games I feel there's like lurking out there in the NFL this week. But today is Saturday, and oh yeah, I gotta make these points right here, man. I can't believe that Penn State lost to UCLA. What the fuck? Like, for real. By Penn State losing to UCLA, man, that should knock them out the rankings. That should completely knock them out the rankings. And Florida State just defeated Texas. No, not Florida State. I'm tripping. Florida State is already playing in University of Miami right now. So Florida, the Gators, beat the Texans, the Longhorns, the Texas Longhorns. And I was just like, what? Like, damn, man. I guess college football is very different after the Nick Saban era. Like, this is way crazy because Florida's not even ranked. Texas is ranked number 5. They lose to Florida. I gotta really look into more of these games right here because I was at the gym earlier today working out during the football games and all that. But right now, I got Miami playing on the television, Miami versus Florida State right now. But yeah, I got to get this show on the road. Got to get the show going. You know what I mean? Go Dodgers. See, I got my Dodgers shirt on. Go Dodgers and everything. Besides all that, let's get back on football. Week 5 predictions, reviews. Here we go. First game that I want to actually point on is 49ers versus the Rams. That was a very impressive win from the 49ers. Each week, the 49ers are showing me that they have amazing coaching. This is probably the most banged up team in the NFL right now, and they're winning games. They're winning games on injuries. I mean, like, there's a ton of injuries that's going on throughout the league, especially like with teams like Baltimore, who just got hit with the most devastating injuries with their best players out there. But this was very impressive. 49ers went into SoFi Stadium and beat the Rams on their home turf with their fans in there. If you was watching this game, boy, there was more 49. There was like even Steven 49ers, Rams fans out there. And I'm like, it was pretty much like, whose house? Ain't your house tonight. Not your house tonight, LA Rams. The Rams, you can't blame this on the quarterback. You gotta, if there's a blame, if there's a finger you have to point at somebody with, it has to be the running backs. Corum, Williams, fumbling the football when it's like when McVay's pretty much having all the confidence in his running backs, and they just do that. But it was not their fault because most of these turnovers were created. I mean, punched out or disrupted, or it was crazy how they were fumbling all over the place. And then the missed field goal. Rams had opportunities to put this game away, but you kept them alive. And the 49ers, they're like Rocky Balboa out there, man. Like, because when they go into games, I have no hope in them. I'm thinking they're going to lose to these strong teams. And now they just beat probably one of the strongest teams in their division. And this right here alone is making the NFC West look very competitive. Probably one of the most competitive divisions out there right now. Even with the Cardinals lurking in that bitch, they looking like they can be very competitive. It's crazy up in there, man. I think almost all teams in the NFC West are at least at 500 right now. So congratulations to the 49ers. I gotta tip my hats off to them. Well, I gotta salute them and everything because, that it's impressive what they're doing. Like, if you're really watching football, it's very impressive what the 49ers are doing. Kyle Shanahan and his squad is just amazing. How they lean these boys to a victory every week. So hey, I'm impressed with them. But that loss to the Jaguars, that was kind of like a telltale sign. But beating the Rams, that shows something else. That's something else right there. You know what I mean? So with that being said, I didn't even add that on my parlay. There was a tricky game right here because a lot of people thought that the Rams was gonna win. I mean, 49ers went in there as the underdog on an 8.5 spread or 7.5 spread on some other websites and gambling sites and whatnot. But the thing about it is like, man, come on, the Rams. You know what I mean? It's crazy though. It's crazy out there in LA right now, boy. It's crazy. So I don't know what to say about the Rams with this loss, man, because it's like, bro, everybody thought that the Rams was going to beat the 49ers. It was like, man, the injuries was going to show. It was going to pop up with them, but it is whatever. We're going to continue. We're going to keep going, and let's make these picks right now. Now, the first game that I'm going to talk about and try to see if I can make some picks of is like Minnesota versus Cleveland. So we got the Vikings versus the Browns. The Vikings are at a 3.5 spread favorite. Before we go into this game, let's touch in on what the media has been going off on Shedeur Sanders and everything. So we all know that Joe Flacco, they set him down, and they're going to put in the second string quarterback, Dylan Gabriel. Congratulations to Dylan Gabriel anyways, because I don't like how the media put their attentions all on the third string quarterback and Shedeur Sanders, as if this was a setup for this kid. You know what I mean? Because I'm that type of person when I look at it, I'm like, you damn if you do, you damn if you don't. You damn if you say something, you damn if you don't say nothing. What he did was he did a pantomime little act to the reporters who was asking him how does he feel about Dylan Gabriel getting the starting position. My question is, why the hell are we asking the third string quarterback when we should really be talking to the second string quarterback? We should be talking to Joe Flacco. Is how you feel about Dylan Gabriel succeeding your position? You know what I mean? I mean, what are we doing here? Is this clickbait? Because I feel like almost everybody in the media who is talking about Shedeur Sanders is using this shit as clickbait because for some reason everybody in the media is saying he was wrong for what he was doing. He ain't playing the game how he's supposed to play the game if he wants to get the starting position. This kid, I feel that the NFL is trying to blackball him. Yes, they're trying to blackball him and everything. Because if this was the case, we are fucking asking a third string quarterback how he feels about the second string quarterback taking over from the first string quarterback. Then that means that Shedeur Sanders was supposed to be on the squad and he was supposed to be the first start. He was supposed to be the starting quarterback. He was groomed for that, I feel like. You know what I mean? Not groomed, but I think this is like how all this shit is like over, how all this shit is spilling over. I feel like he should have got drafted to a team that really needed a quarterback. And there were teams that really did need quarterbacks out there. You know what I mean? Hey, correct me if I'm wrong. Thinking this is a blackball campaign, a smear campaign against Shedeur Sanders. Shit. Because I'm like, why are you even interviewing him? Like, what's the point of even interviewing him, man? And I'm like, he could have played the game better. He could have been professional with it. But how I see it, he pulled a Marshawn Lynch card. That's what he did. He just pulled a Marshawn Lynch card and stuff, But no, you got analysts. And I'm not gonna say what media outlet, but you got analysts talking about how this is unprofessional, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Man, y'all got your clicks for the week. So it's whatever, man. I just hope that Shedeur Sanders' time does come, and it's whatever. Dylan Gabriel was the better choice for the Cleveland Browns to move forward with. You know what I mean? Because Joe Flacco wasn't really doing nothing. He really wasn't doing nothing. So with all that being said, let's get back to the game and not on the sideshow topics that people was pretty much picking at. Minnesota playing Cleveland in London. The game is a morning game, so the kickoff starts at 8:30. And I'm going to pick Minnesota on this win. I'm going to pick Minnesota for the win, money line, because Carson Wentz, I don't know. It's very iffy. This game might be a track game, man, because if you want to go back and compare games from last week, right? Games from last week. With Cleveland, because I'm looking at their schedule right now. Last week game, they got belt to ass whoopings from the Lions, rightfully just rightfully so. And Minnesota lost to the Steelers, which was looking like a competitive game until Carson Wentz just started throwing interceptions. He was recorded for 2 interceptions of the game, but when I watched that game, I counted 4. I counted 4 interceptions. They just took 2 away because it was sideline interceptions and whatnot. But like, I'm gonna put my faith again in Minnesota on this one to beat Cleveland, because the jet lag, I really feel that the jet lag might actually play a factor in it. And Minnesota has been in Europe for 2 weeks, so they're comfortable. They have familiarity of it. It's just that the Browns are going to be the ones that's going to have to come and get used to everything and hopefully they're prepared for the Sunday game in time. But Minnesota, I'm just going to go with Minnesota on this one. I think they're going to catch the W, and yeah, that's about it, man. The only way they can fuck up is if Carson Wentz keep fucking up. So that's how it is right there. Okay, so the next game that I want to review right here is going to be New England versus Buffalo. Point spread set at 8.5. Buffalo is the favorite. I'm going to choose Buffalo on this one. That's an easy one right there. That's an easy one right there, because it's not that Buffalo versus New England. It's just when you got division games like this, teams know their teams in divisions. So Buffalo, being who they are right now on a steamrolling conquest right now, I feel that they're going to beat New England. Yeah, New England had themselves like a nice victory over Carolina, but this is Buffalo. But then again, Buffalo did have a time with New Orleans, where New Orleans was really actually trying to win the game. People thought that, that Buffalo was going to just run through the Saints. They actually put up a fight, and then towards, I want to say, mid-second half, Josh Allen and James Cook became Batman and Robin, and they did what they did. So Buffalo, I choose Buffalo to win that one. Next game that I have up on my list is Denver versus Philly. Point spread set at 4.5, Philly being the favorite. I have to go for the winningest team in the NFL, which is Philadelphia right now. Denver is a good team, but then I also noticed there's some leaks and holes in that ship over there with the Denver Broncos. Philadelphia is having a nice run right now. They're having a nice run. They just beat the Rams. They just beat Tampa Bay. They beat Denver. It's like, wow, man. Okay, man. I just got to look at Philly's schedule to really see what teams they might have on their schedule that can beat them. That can just beat them. I'm not really familiar with their schedule, but I will be getting up and laced with their schedule. But as far as I'm concerned, when I choose on this game, it's going to be Philly money line, straight up. Philadelphia. Oh yeah, let me also circle this. All right, so the next game that I've been looking at, Dallas versus New York Jets. Dallas versus New York Jets. Dallas is the favorite, set at 1.5. Let me recheck that, because I really do think it's like a 1.5 spread. Why you at Dallas? Okay. The spread has been set at 1. Cowboys versus the Jets, 1? Wow, Vegas don't believe in Dallas. What's going on? Is there like some type of injury that I'm not aware of? I'm still going to choose Dallas over the Jets. Oh my God, I just thought about it too. Dallas that defense is trash. That defense is trash, but then again, the Jets ain't showing me much neither. And Justin Fields, it's whatever. New York still has the problem that they've been having for the past 3 years. And that's a quarterback situation. I'm going to go with Dallas, man. I'm going to go with Dallas just because that offense is good enough to actually just take these boys out. I mean, I don't believe in the Jets like that. No, I don't believe in them like that. Now you got the next game. The next game that we're gonna choose is the New York Giants versus the New Orleans Saints. Spread set at 1.5. New Orleans being the favorite. I think it just changed a little bit. Yeah, spread now is set at 2.0. Cap, I'm choosing the Giants on this one. Reason why. The Giants beat the Chargers. And I mean beat the Chargers. Had to lead the entire game and beat them. Jackson Dart has brought a spirit to this offense that they ain't have in a long time. You know what I mean? And then we're going to go back to Daniel Jones. This was a long time coming. So seeing their reemergence of excitement with this team is pretty cool to see right here, man. You know what I'm saying? And New Orleans tries. They tries their hardest. Now they're about to try to see if they can trade Alvin Kamara and all that. That's crazy. You get rid of Kamara, you just got rid of the team. It's time to rebuild. It's time to clean house and rebuild from ground zero. If that happens. And New Orleans put up a fight against Buffalo. Yes, they did. I have to say, they put up a fight against Buffalo. But I call cap on this game, and I am choosing the Giants to win. Now, the next game that we have is the Las Vegas Raiders versus the Indianapolis Colts. Point spread set at 7.0. Colts being the favorites. I gotta choose the Colts on this one. Indianapolis, like the Raiders are good. The Raiders are good as if Geno Smith is having a good day. If Geno Smith starts throwing interceptions, man, I don't know. But then, last week was actually a real good game that they had against the Bears. Ashton Jetty, man, that boy can run. I like watching him run. Anyways, but with this, man, Danny Dimes and them doing their business out there in Indianapolis and everything, I'm going to just have to go with the Colts on this one, man. The Colts is the surefire team. I feel like they're going to beat the Raiders. I don't see nothing from the Raiders. Just tell me. And then Brock Bowers is not going to play. So you don't have your tight end who's just like Geno Smith, like I want to say number one passing, like number one target. So yeah, man, Raiders going to have that L. They're going to have to get that L. I don't think they're going to get beat by 7, but who knows, man? The Colts can come blazing. They can come blazing in that game. So the Colts is the safe bet on money line. All right, so this is also another game right here, a real good game that we got to keep our eyes on. We got Tampa Bay versus Seattle. Point spread at 3.5. Seahawks being the favorite. I want to go with the Seahawks just because Tampa Bay is gonna be our Bruce Irvin. But Tampa Bay is going to have Chris Godwin out there, right? They still got that rookie out there where I can't really pronounce his name right, so I'm not going to even try to attempt to do it, but y'all know what I'm talking about, right? And Tampa Bay is not a bad team, but also the Seahawks is not a bad team as well. And I mean, Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold doing his thing out there, vice versa as Mayfield doing his as Mayfield doing his thing out there. So, and then this is like two quarterbacks that used to play for the same team, Carolina Panthers, my Panthers, who pretty much made them look like shit. These two quarterbacks go to two different teams, and they're in the playoffs. Wow. You tell me what the problem is over there in Carolina. Then tell me what the problem is. Tell a fan. And I'll tell you what the problem is too. So with this game though, this game is a tricky one right here. I mean, Tampa is not that good. Like Tampa is actually, if you want to look at this season right now, Tampa has a better on-road record than they do home record right now because they got beat by the Philadelphia Eagles in Tampa last week. The problem is this is a hard one. I want to say Seahawks, but Tampa could possibly come up with an upset. This game is a weird one right here. But if I have to choose, if I had like a if I had to choose, Seahawks. I'm gonna go with the Seahawks, man. All right, next game is Tennessee Titans versus the Arizona Cardinals. Point spread set at 7.5. Cardinals being the favorite, obviously, just so Cardinals. And side story of this one is Cam Ward being like, yo, man, my team, yeah, man, if I could be a buck with y'all, we ass. Ain't nothing wrong with your starting quarterback, especially the rookie starting quarterback, coming out there saying that the whole team, including himself, is ass. This is the signs of a future leader with the Tennessee Titans. Cam Ward possibly might be that guy that can get them back to the promised land, which is the Super Bowl. But it's not going to be now. It's not going to be next season. It's going to be down the road where you can actually build up on this. Right now, Tennessee is in the runnings to get first spot in the draft again. They could keep building. They could build and build and build off of this to where in 3 years, this team is gonna rock the AFC South. You got already 3 teams. You already got like really 2 teams in Jacksonville and the Colts going off. Houston, we're still waiting on them. And the baby of the division is Tennessee. So they have upward mobility to be a real good squad. Ain't nothing wrong with Cam Ward said neither. They are ass right now, for real. They are ass right now. And Calvin Ridley, like, bail your man out sometimes, but I know that's his only good target that he could throw to. So this team is very young. And they could still build up off of the momentum of what they have right now. Cam Ward is a good addition for quarterback, so you got that situation already locked. Just got to keep adding on. Like, I guess build a line. Get him some wide receivers out there. Go in free agency. Start building around him. They got something over there in Tennessee. They just got to start building around him. And get this man his first win of the season. He needs a win. Cause I'm like, a win could do so much for them. You know what I mean? It ain't gonna, like, help them get to the playoffs or nothing like that, but it can do so much for their confidence. So get this boy a win. I want to see Cam Ward get his win. But I gotta choose Arizona on the money line. Washington versus LA Chargers. Point spread set at 2.5, being the Chargers being the favorite. Now Jaden Daniels is coming back for Washington. And the Chargers, I don't know how major it is that they lost their left tackle, but after Alt went down, he was getting towed up. And when I mean Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert was getting pressured like crazy. I mean, how they were playing against New York was not like how we was thinking. Like, yo, man, this is the same team that dominated against that put on a dominant performance against the Chiefs. This is the same team that just pretty much is like, Justin Herbert's on my fantasy squad, like on my fantasy team, and I'm like, I don't want to sit him because sometimes Justin Herbert will go off, but then you have games like New York. And it's like, But then again, I'm going to have to go with the Chargers on this one. Just got to go with the Chargers. I just feel that the Chargers, and at home, they got to get that win after that loss. They got to get that taste out their mouth from the loss from New York. And Washington, I think without McLaurin out there, man, they're gonna have to like rely heavily on Deebo Samuel. So I just don't know yet where and then they don't have their starting running back in Austin Eckler and everything. Like, Washington actually going through their woes with injuries too. So I'm just going to say bet Chargers. All right, next game, Detroit Lions versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Point spread set at 10.5. Detroit being the favorite. Obviously, Detroit. I'm not going to even go in on this Detroit because right now Cincinnati's living the curse of how they rely too much on Joe Burrow. They rely too much on Joe Burrow. So much that their defense is trash. Has always been trash. and it's gonna be trash for a long time until that GM over there in Cincinnati realize, hey man, I can't just let my damn quarterback go out here and try to put up 300 yards per fucking game because that's the only way we can win. I don't like how they do my man Burrow over there, man. Burrow, he deserves more and better. He really does. He really truly does. Now you got Houston Texans versus the Baltimore Ravens. Point spread set at 1.5. Houston being the favorite. Houston being the favorite. Rightfully and justly so, because Baltimore has went through so many injuries in that game last week that they had with the Chiefs. Baltimore's also, surprisingly, in their division is in last place. Who's in first place in their division, do you ask? The mother effing Steelers. The Steelers. Crazy times in the NFC North, right? Crazy times in the NFC North. There's only two teams that are supposed to be like the big dogs in that division, and one of them is at the bottom right now because of is at the bottom or tied at the bottom with the other two. Well, with the other one, because you have Steelers at the top, and right behind the Steelers is who's behind the Steelers. You got three teams that's tied for second place. You got Baltimore, Cincinnati, and Cleveland. That's crazy. That's crazy work right there. So Detroit gonna put that beating on the Cincinnati Bengals, and it is what it is right there. Did I just say Cincinnati put the beating on the Bengals? I'm tripping. I am so fucking tripping. Yeah, we going back on that. I'm talking about the Houston Texans. No, Houston Texans got a chance to actually beat the Baltimore Ravens. They actually have a chance to beat the Baltimore Ravens and shit, right? I don't know what the Texans, well, that's only one thing they really have to do, and that's protect CJ Stroud, make sure that he has enough time to fucking give the ball off to whoever he can, and that'll be it right there. Houston can get this win. I will choose Houston on this one. Baltimore just too pained up, and it's like Houston, this can be that win for y'all guys. This can be this win for the Bulls right there. Then we have Miami Dolphins versus the Carolina Panthers. Spread set at 1.5 Miami. I don't know which type of Carolina we're going to get in this one. I don't know if this is going to be the Carolina that beat Atlanta. I don't know if this is the Carolina that actually had a rally game against the Cardinals. I don't know what type of Carolina Panthers that we're going to get, but I can always trust Miami Dolphins to screw the game up for themselves. Tyreek Hill injured himself last week, Monday night. Oh, man, that's a one thing right there. Tyreek Hill tearing up his ACL, man. We possibly have witnessed the last of the cheetah. I'm only saying this because the cheetah is a sprinter. He's a sprinter, man. Tyreek Hill is a sprinter. He's a runner. And when you and the one thing about your speed is this. As you get older, you lose speed. You lose your speed. And now you have an torn ACL. He might not be the same. And if he does come back as the same, that will be a miracle on top of a miracle. But the fact, the reality, and the ugliness of nature is he might not be the same again. Man. So my thoughts go out to Tyreek Hill and all that stuff, but I think I'm gonna go cap, and I'm gonna have to choose Carolina. Carolina actually plays well at home. I could see Tagovailoa fucking up, but then again, Carolina can get their ass whooped too on this one. We gotta remember, man, Jalen Waddle is still out there, and they have the tight end. I know Darren Waller. They got Darren Waller out there too. So Miami could possibly come off with a win from Carolina. But I'm going to choose Carolina on this one. I feel that Carolina's defense can pick him off a little bit here and there in the third. So I call Carolina on that one. And the last game that we have to review is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Spread set at 3.5, Kansas being the favorite. That's going to be a real good game right there. I'm not gonna add that on to my parlay because these are the parlays that I'm gonna do for the Sunday. So with that, it's gonna be a Monday leg. It's gonna be a Monday leg play that I do right there, right? But I wanna choose the Chiefs on the money line. I think the Chiefs have found themselves with Xavier Worthy coming back and everything like that. Patrick Mahomes is now really spreading the ball out like how he wants to. But the Jacksonville Jaguars, man, this might be their game right here. This might be their game. Just for the hell of it, just for the gamble of it, I would choose the Jags just for the gamble of it. But don't put that on your parlay and don't say I told you that. So, anyways, that is all the games right now that we have reviewed for week 5. Hopefully the parlays hit. And hopefully we win some money out there. If y'all got any type of parlays that you have whipped up, man, share them with your boy. Let me know who y'all think is going to win these games. Let me know some things. If you have over and unders, let me know. If you got point spreads, let me know. Holla at me. Interact with your boy. And thank you for watching this episode. If you stuck for this long, it's a 30-minute episode. Not many people had that much of attention span. So don't forget to like and subscribe to us on any listening platform. Don't forget to like and subscribe to us on YouTube. Don't forget to share unless you want get your boy some viewers, some followers out there, Just like and share. Appreciate you for still riding with your boy. Good luck on Sunday with your tickets. I am out. Enjoy your weekend. Peace.